Welcome to this Moveworks DSL and Data Mappers Beginner's Guide video. Moveworks DSL, or Domain-Specific Language, lets you write simple rules to control your plugins or transform specific data fields, while Data Mappers help you transform and organize data like sorting lists or formatting messages. Let's dive in. In this video, we'll cover the basics of DSL, including text, datetime, and typecasting operations, plus the filter operator. We'll also explore data mappers, focusing on list and string manipulation, and explain why these tools are often better than Python. Finally, we'll show you how to test everything in the playground. Moveworks DSL is a beginner-friendly language for writing rules using plugin settings like launch rules, decision policies, or mappers to control automation and transform data fields. Why would you use DSL? Because it's fast, integrated with Moveworks, and easier than general coding languages, making it perfect for beginners. DSL works with Moveworks data objects like user and also any other data types that come into Agent Studio. DSL offers easy-to-use operators for formatting and manipulating text, perfect for cleaning up user inputs or creating readable outputs. There's multiple operators for that. We have lowercase, converts text to lowercase, uppercase converts text to uppercase, title case, which capitalizes each word, and more. Datetime operators simplify working with dates and times, which is crucial for tasks like scheduling or validating dates. We have operators such as time, which allows you to get the current timestamp, parse time, which converts a date string to a timestamp in units, format time, formatting timestamps in units to an actual readable format, and add date, which allows you to add a duration such as years, months, or days to a given timestamp. You can also do typecasting. Typecasting in DSL converts data to the correct format, ensuring plugins process it properly. For example, you can convert a number to a text, or a text to an integer, or even a text to a decimal. Even then, you can always use the length to get the length of a string, or a list, or something else. The filter operator in DSL lets you pick specific items from a list or object based on a condition. Great for focusing on relevant data. Data mappers in Moveworks are tools for transforming and organizing data in plugins. They help you prepare inputs or format outputs like sorting a list of tickets or creating a user-friendly message. They simplify data handling without coding and allow direct configuration in Action input and output mappers. For example, you can format a notification message, sort user lists by department, or filter urgent tickets from a dataset. Data mappers have list manipulation operators that help you organize or filter lists for your plugins. You have the map operator, which helps you transform each item in a list, the sort operator that allows you to sort it, coalesce that allows you to pick non-empty values from a list, and the filter, similar to the DSL filter function, that allows you to just filter a list by a certain condition. String manipulation operators in data mappers help you format outputs like creating user-friendly messages. You can use the render operator that allows you to create template messaging formats, the concat operator that allows you to concatenate multiple strings together, or the strip HTML operator that strips any HTML tags from a string that you may have. DSL and data mappers are often better than Python, a simplified Python subset for Moveworks plugins that you use in scripts. Because DSL mappers are optimized for Moveworks, it runs faster than Python scripts. It's a direct integration with set rules and transformations directly in plugin inputs and outputs, so there's no coding needed, and it's designed for non-programmers, making them beginner-friendly. Let's go over and see how to use the DSL in Data Mappers Playground. The Data Mappers Playground lives on our doc site, so let's head there. Now, here's our playground. It is, as you can see, it's embedded in our doc site, and we provide you with some options here. So first of all, you're able to select the region that you're in, and then you have to provision yourself an API key, which is located in Agent Studio Classic Advanced Credentials. Now, once we go to the tool, you see that we have an XML parser here. So if you have an XML payload, you can parse it here to JSON. And then we have an input payload. This works as a sample payload that you can use to just mock an API, or you can even add your own API payload here. Now, on the right side, there's an editor where you can enter your DSL rules. So in my case, let's get to it. So first of all, here you can access any keys that you may like. For example, if I just type data, which is the top level key, I will just respond with the whole payload. But now if we want to do some data transformation, let's say I want to transform ticket ID to an actual integer, I can dot walk. I can go to data.ticket.id integer, press process, and look at that. Or if we want to grab the subject and lowercase it, we can do the same. You can also do if then statements. Let's say if ticket ID equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then hooray. If not, sad, right? So this will probably evaluate to true since the ticket ID is that. Oh, it's data.ticket ID, right? Now let's go again. Hooray. Awesome. What if we wanted to filter this user list and we only want people with the email that starts with JO? So if I do data users filter, now we have a small function here. We'll iterate through this list of users. So we'll go through each user and then we'll check that the user dot email starts with, we have a function here called starts with JO. Yeah, so this should work and let's run it. So we only get John Doe here. If I just change it to J, it will work that way. And if I want to do the negative out of that, I can do not. I just put a not here and wrap that in parentheses, and then I will get Jane instead. Let's say if you want to access a top level key that has special characters, you also have to do a bit special syntax. So in that case, you use $, bracket, and then you use quotations, and then write the name of the key, which is $, hashtag test. Very well. And if you want to go into a key that has a special character, you also can't dot walk like this, just won't give you anything. But if I wrap that into brackets as well, then I did something wrong because you need to remove the dot. There you go. And there you go. Hello, I'm a value of a special key. Very cool. Now let's go into data mappers. So data mappers, as we talked about earlier, they let you organize data, create your own data structures. So for example, I can go ahead and I just want to reduce this payload. I don't want all that data. I just want the ticket. And in that case, I only want the ticket ID and the subject. So I can just do something like this, ticket ID. And then on the right side of my value or my key, which is the value, this is also DSL. So in data mappers, leverage DSL to also do further transformations if you want. So in this case, I'm not going to do any transformations, but I just call this data.ticket ID. And then I want the subject, which is subject. And then there'll be data.ticket.subject. I can click process and you can see that created a new payload, a new data structure here. And let's say I want to make ID an integer. I can also use DSL here and press process. And I did something wrong. It misspelled integer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a number. Very great. What about if I want to create a new data for the user list, right? This is a list of objects. I only want maybe the emails. I don't really care about the user's name. So I can just create a new field called user list, and we'll use a function called map. So this map takes items, which would be the list, the users, and then it takes a converter, which basically you write down the payload that you want to see. So in my case, I just want to see the email. So it'll just be email. And then to access each item in the iterator, you use the key item and then the value of the field. The key name, which is email. So if I press process, I'm going to have a new data structure with user list, with a list of objects that only contain the email. And then I can also further go and use DSL here if I want to make sure that everything's lowercase. Sometimes emails are not lowercase. I can go ahead and do that. But let's do uppercase so you can see it. So since mine are all lowercase, boom, very cool. You can also do DSL here. I can also filter directly here. I can do filter and I'm going to do user where, user name does not equal John Doe or something like that. So maybe we won't have John Doe anymore. You can also do filters and data mapper syntax. So you could do something like filter. Then you would do something like items, which is actually data.users, and then condition, which is a DSL field as well. And I would say item name does not equal John Doe. and I get the same result. Actually, let's do Jane Smith so you can see the answer. Very cool. So that's how you will use this playground. To recap, we explored Moveworks DSL and data mappers, covering text and datetime manipulation, typecasting, and filter operators. We'll also see why DSL and mappers are faster and easier than a Python, and how the playground helps you test your ideas. Try creating a simple rule or mapper in the playground and check out the DSL and data mapper reference for more information. Thanks for watching.